In a world of constant evolution, where the line between man and machine begins to blur, a new age of possibility emerges. Where humanity is augmented to achieve what was once thought impossible. Welcome to the age of cybernetics. Push the limits of what we thought was possible. Pushing the boundaries of human potential. What technology can enhance us beyond our wildest dreams. In a world of constant evolution, where the line between man and machine begins to blur, a new age of possibility emerges. Where humanity is augmented to achieve what was once thought impossible. Welcome to the age of cybernetics.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the first show of the Monday night lineup. This is the weekly comic book pull list. I'm your host, Izzy, and we got a great show lined up for you. You probably noticed the thumbnail changed. It changed about 10 minutes ago, and the reason why is that we got an amazing trailer that we got to talk about. So I had to go ahead and change that. But before I do that, I need to welcome to the party somebody that you probably haven't seen in a while, but I'm happy that he's back. And before we do that, we need to welcome him in. So you know what you got to do to welcome someone into the party. We got to, and where is it? Rambling Rob, what's going on, my man?
Yo, not much now. Thanks very much for having me on. Appreciate it.
It's been a while, bro. How you been?
I've been good.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, busy. Having a kid enter the terrible twos will certainly, it's not like just a saying. It's like, where's my son? What has happened? Midnight gremlin form.
The terrible twos, man. I don't miss those years. I love them, but I'm okay. Now I got teenagers now, so that's my thing now. So anyway, let's go ahead and say what's up to some of the people in the chat because they're there, they're waiting. They just want to say hello. So let's get an opportunity for them to say hi. And
What?
Stone Cold wants us to say what's up to the guys in the chat. So let's go ahead and say what's up to the guys. Starting with My Nerdy Collection was the first one in. He beat out Las Cruces at 8:50 a.m. this morning. That's how early he got in. So Las Cruces got in at 10:20. Then he returned with his hooray. Las Cruces says woohoo. And at 6 p.m. threw in the hello from New Mexico. My boy Scotty Vaughn is in the house as well. Everyone be sure to hit that like button. Don't forget to hit that smash button, smash that thumbs up and all that good stuff. Also, we got Comic Verse in the house. Fellow Rat Packers, what's up, Rat Pack? And of course, we need to find Josh. Sooner or later, we're going to find Josh. Kenneth Bird's also in the house. What's up, Kenneth Bird? Yeah, he got the nice little moon, the sparkle, the emojis, all that good stuff. And he also wants to say hi to Las Cruces. And also in our house, couching and slouching with C. Bizzle. Whoa, I got to say one thing. We did welcome into the party the Council of Comics. They are now officially part of the Monday night lineup. You get to see their show at 8 o'clock. So, couching and slouching, what's going on? We got Joe celebrating 2 months as part of the channel membership. Let's give him something fun. All right, welcome and thank you for. Okay, with that being said, we'll get back to the chat. So, Rob, tell me what's going on, man.
What's going on? So, I went away for a while, to try and figure out what I wanted to do with the YouTube channel because I find as being kind of a long-term, like a long. I'm 35 now, and I've been reading comics since I was 5. So it's the thing of like Loki, you're burdened with glorious knowledge that you kind of know the stuff, and trying to get people into comics who don't have like that background of reading, the guides to and all that. It's like how can you make it more accessible for people? Because take for example XMen 97, that gonna breakneck packing of all these storylines into episodes. It's for those newer fans, because like, you can't X-Men continuity, as much as I'm an advocate for continuity, is so convoluted at times it'll give you a migraine. So I've been for a while trying to figure out, kind of basically make my channel a place where if you want to dip your toe into Marvel, you want to know like, well, what happens in these big events. That's what I'm trying to do with my show, with my time, and kind of spend more time with my family and stuff is where I've been.
That's awesome, man. So, with that being said, we are going to be talking about some X-Men because this show is all about specking and what's coming out and things like that. So let's go ahead and take this opportunity to talk about what's hot right now. So with that said, it's time to talk a little bit about trending comics.
Yep.
All right, starting off with X-Men Deadly Genesis #1. This book is a sleeper, right? And the reason why it's a sleeper is because it features the first appearance of Vulcan, the brother of Cyclops and Havoc. And I remember looking at this book in my, when I was reorganized, I remember looking at this book. I was like, man, this is such a cool Mark Silvestri cover and stuff like that. And I didn't even realize it was the first appearance of Vulcan. And we see Vulcan in X-Men 97, but he has like this quick blink and you'll miss him moment.
Dude, I fell victim to, I'm a big cosmic wing of Marvel fan, and when he became so involved with the share and stuff, I was like, oh my god, it's this thing with Ronin. There could do the War of Kings, so I got like Emperor Vulcan, that 1 to 5, and then it's like, oh, he's just kind of like, hey, check out my eyes, and then he's gone. So
literally, it was like a blink moment, right? Yeah. Also, we got Brian in the house. Look at that. Member for now 8 months. Welcome, Brian. You are definitely part of it. Let's see what we could give Brian. I know what he wants. He wants this.
I'm looking through your mind's eye.
That was for Brian right there. I love that scene. Yeah, so this one is $15. It's easily one of those books that you could grab, but really the book that a lot of people are hunting for is the variant. So let me see if I can pop in this variant for you guys to see it. And the variant for this book, and the one that people really want to see, is this one here. So let me switch that one to the one that people really want to see, and that will be this one right here. So this cover here is, I believe, is Nightcrawler. This is a Joe Quesada variant, and this is the one that people are going crazy for. It's the hot book, right? Huh. You can never doubt Gambit's mind. Yeah, so there's a lot of good books. This one's going for $50 right now. It's not bad. It really isn't that bad for the price tag, but it is the variant done by Joe Quesada. That's the one that people are going crazy looking for. So there's that. We got in the house. We got Larry Green Machine. What's going on, my man? All right, next book on our list, more X-Men Spect. Right, we got here Miss Marvel #9. Now, you know what I always notice about Miss Marvel and Captain Marvel? How closely related Carol Danvers is to the X-Men universe.
Yeah.
And I never really got that at first, but we got the reason why this book is in the list is because it's the first appearance of Deathbird, who is the sister of Lilandra, right? And she had a major role in the last episode, episode 6. So tell me your thoughts about this book.
Well, the way Deathbird, like the casting and the performance, Deathbird was badass. It's like you do not mess with her, and she could flip, she could turn on you like on a dime. And I'm a big fan of the kind of the more obscure characters, and Deathbird, again, seeing her role in like War of Kings and stuff like that, she really does come into her own as a real threat. And I mean, Miss Marvel has a lot of these kind of ones in especially with where the MCU is going in the debut of lesser known characters. These older books like the Luke Cages, the back issues of She-Hulk, all these ridiculous looking villains, they kind of end up popping up in places, Yeah,
I agree. Now with Deathbird, she falls under that trope of evil alien sister. So like Starfire and her sister, and I'm trying to remember Starfire's sister's name, but I can't remember.
Sapphire. Was it Star Sapphire or something?
No, Star Sapphire is Green Lantern's girl.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Yeah, but it's not Sapphire. You guys in the chat, I'm sure you'll know Starfire's sister. Um, and it has the same vibes, the exact,
Yeah.
almost to the peak, to the point, right? But this one's going for $35. Now, I don't think this is one of those books that you got to run after,
No.
because Deathbird is only going to have that one little scene in the show. She'll disappear, and then this book will start dropping down again.
So you could argue the same for
Blackfire. Thank
Vulcan.
you, Joe. I knew somebody knew the answer. Blackfire is her name. So
Blackfire.
yeah, so yeah, it's the same thing. Yeah, same thing with Vulcan, but I think Vulcan has a little more potential. Maybe not in the long run here, like right now, but sooner or later, I think we'll see more Vulcan, because he's just a cool character. He's the third brother.
He is. But you know, remember he wasn't the third brother initially. Do you remember Extreme? Adam X from the early 90s, and it was hinted that he was the third Summers brother.
Yes.
And even Mr. Sinister like casually goes, "Oh, the other brother." It's like, I was like, "What? Oh, nothing."
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Yeah,
about
they just dropped it right in that moment. It's like, here you go, you got another brother.
Oh wait, no, you don't.
You know, here you go. Little drop there. So there you have it, Deathbird. Now here's another cool book in the list, and that's The Joker #1 from 1975. This is Joker's first solo title, $160. This is one of those books that when you see it out there, it's worth picking up, because you don't really get many villain comic books that are valuable, and this is just one of them. And it's the Joker, man. How can you go wrong with the Joker?
Exactly. And I mean that trailer for I mean, I studied French for 6 years, but I will butcher this. Folie du.
Yeah.
An Irish accent with French doesn't work. But you know, I'm excited to see that, because it was delivered as, oh, it's going to be a musical. But I couldn't figure out what way that was going to go, but it just seems to be because they're both kind of off their rocker. This is how they view their romance in Arkham and the way it's going to grow. And yeah, I mean, the Joker to me is one of the most, if not like the best villain in all of comicdom.
Yeah, he's pretty much in the Mount Rushmore of supervillains. You can't get much better than Joker, because he's homicidal, he's a maniac, and everything about him is just villain. He's the type of character that he's a bad guy.
Exactly. And just to touch on that point there, when you said like there's villains and there's bad guys. So let's say Mysterio is a bad guy. He just wants money. He doesn't care about people. The Red Skull is a villain. Sabretooth is a villain. Magneto, bad guy, but at the end he does try and do what's right. But the Joker, and that's actually one criticism I did have of the Joaquin Phoenix movie, and not to fault the performances, is that they tried to make you feel sorry for the Joker and explain where he came from. And part of me, the appeal of this guy is remember in '89 when Jack Nicholson just turns to Bob, he's like, "Bob, gun," and he shoots Bob, and you're like, why did you do that to Bob? But that's the Joker.
That's the Joker.
That it's just like that switch, and you don't want to go, the poor Joker, sure, isn't his mother going through a lot now? The poor young fella. Like, no, you don't want to feel like that about the guy, you know?
Yeah, and you know, the book by Brian Azzarello that he did with the Joker, with the guy that and the Joker was coming out of jail. That is like a perfect portrayal of who Joker is.
Yeah,
because he comes up and the guy's with his wife, and Joker's raping her, and it's all that stuff. And it's just insanity, right? It's just one of those stories where you do not feel sorry for Joker at all, right? There's nothing about him that makes you say, "Oh, I feel bad for this guy." So
exactly,
absolutely. And Chris, the comic vet, celebrating 11 months. Has it been 11 months, Chris? Well, Chris, I'm happy to say I did get that package, and I am super happy. You guys are going to get to see that video in the near future of me unboxing Chris the Comic Vet's box. Wow, it was awesome. You know, really, really awesome. And you know who has something to say about that? That's how good that was. All right, let's move on. We got some X-Men.
Let me talk to you.
Let me talk to you, brother. All right. So with this one is the first true appearance of Gambit. Let's be honest. This is the real true appearance. First appearance. All right. So we got here X-Men Annual 14. Apparently, X-Men annuals are always something, and Marvel always loved throwing in new characters in the annuals back in the day. I know it's like Rogue was in an annual and some other characters.
Rogue was in Avengers 10, and then like you had the X-Babies. I think Franklin Richards debuted in Fantastic Four annual. So did Anilist appeared in an annual. You know, annuals mattered back then.
Annuals did matter back then, but they were also treated as filler books for stories.
Yeah.
So there was just like gaps that they put into it, and sometimes people didn't care about them as much. But you know what?
The name is Gambit. Remember it.
And you need to remember this book, right? Aloha, Rat Squad. Tate Prime's in the house. Tate, I think I have some really good stuff that you're gonna like today. Some film, some footage that we're going to showcase. All right, let's go over our next book here, and that is XFactor #1. This is the first team. Is it really the first team appearance of XFactor? Not really. It's the OG X-Men back, and they are together. And this actually is the first appearance of Cameron Hodge and Rusty Collins, characters that will be part of really New Mutants and stories like that to come. So, Castro, what's up, Joffrey? And Tate Prime's in the house. Look at this one. You know what, Tate? I gotta give you some love here, Tate. So this one's for you, Tate. There you go.
That
fire,
I'm looking forward to talking about that. That was quite a viewing.
Yeah, definitely. So this one's here. Again, it's getting some traction. $10 book. Would you believe it is just a $10 book?
I mean, you could pick in a high grade up for $10. That's not a bad price. Speculation or not, I mean, you know, how long did like X-Factor was still a book that people remember, that still is part of all like the family of X-Men titles. Not bad for $10, you know.
For $10, it obviously you might as well pick it up if you see it for $10. The other thing about this book is that it did have a high print run. It is an X-Men title. It was it wasn't a crossover. It was just a continuation. OG team is back together. Jean Grey is back. You know, a lot of stuff is built up in this story. So, but there is a Canadian price one that's going for $500 on 9.8. So that's pretty crazy.
I don't understand.
All right. Now, this was originally my thumbnail, and because of the trailer today, I had to change it. I changed my mind on everything. So, but I did want to talk a little bit about this book here, and that is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Last Ronin #1. This book has a lot of traction going on because there's rumors out there that they are planning to make a Last Ronin movie, in which this movie will be a live action rated R movie. Quick, Rob, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I discussed myself and my co-host Nick on our podcast there last week. We spoke about this a little bit, and I definitely think that the last Ronin in particular for the Turtles could work as rated R, because at the end of the day, like, they're ninjas, they're warriors, and the first movie that came out, I think it was 1990. Like, that was a dark movie. There was heavy themes in that. The violence was pretty graphic at times too. And it is a story that would kind of warrant that R rating, you know, because it's not your grandfather's turtle story, you know. And I think it would work. And I think with the good thing about Marvel fatigue is that I think these smaller, now, I mean, at the time the Turtles was bigger than Marvel, but they're allowed do more with the smaller, like the quote unquote, the smaller franchises, because, like, well, look, everybody knows what to expect from Marvel, but they're looking for something different, you know?
Yeah, agreed. Now, with this one, of course, this is Kevin Eastman, Peter Laird back together, you know, and we're getting the story, a continuation, pretty much a version of The Dark Knight Returns for Turtles, with the Turtles instead, right? So that's pretty much what they're going at with this one. But this book is very popular, $60 high. The book is hard to get in a high grade because of the fact that it's a big bound book. It's actually a pretty thick book, but it's worth picking up, especially now with a $60 price tag, this book is pretty much it's just going to keep going up.
Yeah,
Now,
because
here's
you're
the
saying
crazy
it's
thing.
a rumor,
go
though,
ahead.
isn't it? Sorry, you
It-
were saying that it's just rumored. So if that's
It's a rumor.
60 now, once that's confirmed,
Mhm.
that'll skyrocket.
Well, keep in mind they did confirm a video game adaptation as well. So
Oh,
when
okay.
the game actually officially comes out, this book is going to go up in value as well.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is one of those books that's not going to, obviously it's going to go up and then it's going to come down and it's going to settle in. But I don't think this book is going to ever drop down in value, if you know what I mean. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? This book will never be a $10 book ever again, in other words.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
it's worth checking out. I see a lot of people coming in the chat. Couple Comics, my man from the Monday Night Lineup, he did a fantastic video for us for the Council of Comics. So that was cool with the workout, all that good stuff. So that's worth checking out. Let me see. Did I see anybody else? I said hi to Marcus. There you go, Marcus, right there. Hala Chiefs and nada más. Yep, that's right. Draft week. The football guys. Yep. Draft week for me, man, because WWE is going to have their draft on Friday. So I'm not much of a football guy, but
Wrestling
wrestling,
acknowledges.
You know what I'm saying? When it comes to wrestling, that's what I got to say. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
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 Really? 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 Infinity?
Really. There you have it. So we got that book there. Next book in our list. Look at all this stuff. 100 variants. That's the other thing I was going to point out. This book has 100 variants. Like, is that really necessary?
I don't know.
100 variants. Wow. Yes, rest in peace, Pee-wee, man. Give our love to Pee-wee. All right, and his family. All right, so our next book in this list is Tales of Teen Titans 44. This is where Dick Grayson becomes Nightwing. This is also the origin of Deathstroke and Jericho. Another book that, again, is starting to gain traction because they are talking about making a Titans movie. And, of course, are we going to see Nightwing live action in a movie setting? We saw him in the Titans TV show, but are we going to see him in live action? And you know what? I still think we need to see our Robin, like the transformation to Robin. That's what I think.
Yeah, I mean, I would kind of say Batman has got the main stage for so long. Give his supporting cast like the headline. He can just, he can be featured. He can show everybody knows Batman. We've seen Batman enough times. But you're right. What's the closest thing we got to a Robin origin story was Chris O'Donnell with the bat nips. Like just.
And really, you're gonna call him a boy, right?
Well, yeah, you're like, buddy, you're like 27 years of age. Yeah, but not mentally. I'm very immature. Like, all right, boy. Like, it's just, I don't know. I think it's time to give, the Superman, Batman, Spider-Man, all those, but give the kind of the sidekicks the main stage for a bit. That's what people want to see, I think.
Yeah, but I want to see a proper Robin story. I want to see a proper Robin story. I want to see him grow. So I'm fine. I'm okay with getting a Robin story into Batman universe, and we are going to get the Batman and Robin Brave and the Bold. So that's where we're going to get introduced to Robin. But apparently, it's going to be Damian.
Well, I think a good way too, just when you're saying about the story of Robin and seeing him grow, is like, look at Penguin is getting his own series, and I think. At the end of the day, these are big budget projects, and it's about putting a character in as that will get people to go and see it. And if you have a Robin movie without Batman, more than likely it's not going to break that benchmark, whatever. But use like the streaming services, do a 10-part like Robin through the years. Have Dick start off as Robin and see it end with him being Nightwing. Those kind of things. I think that would be, use the streaming platforms in that regard,
Yeah, I agree. Geek Out with Roscoe, my man. He's taking a break today from the show, so Between the Lines is not going to happen, but you got to go check out, Roscoe stuff. He's always doing some great stuff.
Fantastic artists too.
Talking about fantastic, Lady Fantastic. Caroline's in the house. What's up, Caroline? Anybody else is in the house? I'm trying to see if there's anybody new in the house. Okay, so we got that. Everybody's saying what's up to everybody. That's what I love about this chat. Everybody's saying what's up to everybody. So next book on our list is XFactor number 6, the first full appearance of Apocalypse. This book, again, a high of $65. Honestly, you could get this book for like 30. No sweat.
Yep.
Right? It's a cool cover. I love the cover. You know, I think Apocalypse is one of those characters that, man, they messed him up in the in
the movie where they
movie, yeah.
like I remember being yes Apocalypse because you know you had him in the animated show and he had this big deep voice Apocalypse. You're like yes, amazing. And then I am Apocalypse. I have been called many names in my lifetime. Ra Christ. And he had eyelashes and pupils. You're like, what are you doing? What are you and why do you look like Ivan Ooze? The Power Rangers called. You're in the wrong goddamn movie. And
oh yeah, the Power
Rangers.
And you know what's the worst part? It was Oscar Isaac,
who's a great actor.
Well, we got to see him do Moon Knight, which I actually did like his Moon Knight. I thought that was fantastic, his Moon Knight. And of course, Poe Dameron with Star Wars. He is awesome, but
yeah,
oh my goodness, they screw him up in this movie. But then again, that movie was going downward afterwards. So
well, yeah, that was because sorry, they couldn't they couldn't say, but yeah, that was disappointing.
Moon Knight was Apocalypse, correct? Spoiler alert. Yes. What's up, Black Spiders? Got to say what's up to my boy Black Spiders. I have that book. I actually have 2 copies of this book. I have one that's graded, signed by Luis, and I have a regular one as well. So I have 2 copies of this book. I'm happy with my 2. Our next book, we talked about annuals. You got Fantastic Four annual number 6, the first appearance of Anilist, but it's also the first appearance of Franklin Richards. So another great annual book here. Look at that cover there. Oh, magnifique. You know, king size special right there. Yeah. Right? What $700? What do you think? You think it's high or low? What do you think for a price tag?
Well, I think with this one you got to factor in how old it is as well. You know, like when we were looking at it, this is I think still the 60s, give or take. So it's kind of
68.
Yeah, you know, and I mean Anilist is a staple. He's kind of, you know, Anilist now is a big bad, and generally he's pretty well known. I mean, $700 for a high. I like to kind of get that deal, you know. Like I like to read my comics. I don't get them graded. $700 before the movie. I don't,
Daniel.
You know, I kind of think that's a bit high, but that's just me.
I think it's a big high as well, but I do believe we will see him eventually. But also keep in mind, it's not. I don't think it's so much about the Nihilist. I think it's more about Franklin.
Yeah, I mean, Franklin is grand. He's just another, you know, kid character. To me, I'd be getting this for a Nihilist. You know, I mean, but you know, each to their own.
I think Marvel is gonna pull the Franklin Richards cards because he's gonna be the gap between the X-Men and Fantastic Four because he's technically a mutant. Well, he is a mutant.
Well, they're still kind of going like, oh, he might not be, or if we check the numbers, he might be. And it makes sense with Franklin's and the Fantastic Four's involvement in Secret Wars as a whole, and like rebuilding the multiverse. And yeah, Franklin would be a good idea to bring in to connect both those franchises.
I would think you would like sell in the negative verse, lady. I really do. All right, our next book in our list is some more X-Men goodness here. This is Uncanny X-Men 191, the first appearance of Nimrod.
I was the same about that name till it turns out it's like a Shakespearean thing, and it's about a form of a hunter.
Actually, there's also the names also exist in the Bible. There's a character in the Bible.
A hunter. So because I was like Nimrod.
Yeah.
Nimrod? Yeah.
It sounds like a dimwit, right? Doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yo, your name is Nimrod. Okay, I'm terrified.
Yeah. So Nimrod's first appearance. Now, of course, we have some stuff because there are multiple reasons for Nimrod's first appearance. Again, this is some X-Men 97 spec, even though he came out in a couple of episodes prior. And at the same time, he's showing up in the House of X, Power of X. He had a big part of it as well.
Huge part in that. Yeah. I mean, I personally think $30 is too much money for
Really?
the first appearance of Nimrod. I mean, the way I would look at it, right, is how often has Nimrod
What's
appeared?
up, peeps? What's up, Common Embrace?
You
Yeah.
know, like he's one of those villains. He's booked well because he doesn't show up often, and when he does show up, it's a big deal to get rid of him.
But Nimrod has this Terminator vibe about him.
He does. He
Right?
does. Yeah.
So whenever he shows up, everybody's running away from him and stuff like that, because if you blow him up, he gets back together.
Yep.
So
Yeah. I mean, I got this book. I think I found it for $1.50 like 4 years ago. I just $30 to me, maybe 10 for a really good, I think that would be a good high one, but like,
yeah. It's also great. It's numb nuts.
yeah, Numb Nuts is a solid one. Yeah.
All right. So let's go to our next book here. And it's before I put up, I guess you guys saw it. We must absolutely put this up because this is what this is. It is none other than what we call, and where are you? Where are you? You're lost in translation. Don't tell me we're lost here. It is a
Taylor Swift Best.
Taylor Swift's back right there. Uncanny X-Men 130 is back on the list.
I
Oh, gee.
that foghorn was so loud.
I
I have my
know.
headphones up so loud. That one, I'm like, oh my God.
When I first did this video, it wasn't so loud. So I started playing it. I just haven't changed it. So yes, it's for you guys to go deaf. But here is the first appearance of Dazzler herself. Yes. Oh, rest in peace, headphone. My apologies, guys. Even I went deaf there for a second. I'm still not confirmed yet. But here's the thing. To that statement, have you heard what she just did? What Taylor Swift did?
What did
So
she do?
Taylor Swift, I believe she dropped an album or something like that. And in this album, at the very end, she says, dazzling. Confirmation. We got our Taylor Swift is Dazzler.
Man, come on. So is that like if Pedro Pascal it was rumored to be Miss Fantastic? Like, how was your vacation? Fantastic.
It's exactly the same thing.
No, it's oh my God. No. And
You guys tell me, is Taylor Swift? Yeah. Yep. Swifty news. There you go. Swifty news right there, guys.
News. I think Marvel missed a gold mine, especially with this like speculation thing, to put out an NFL Super Pro and Dazzler one shot. That would have blown up.
Look at this. Not a confirmation. She said the word dazzle. I think that's confirmation enough. Joe, I'm sorry. That's confirmation enough, right? I think
No, I'm with Joe at that. It's not. It's a word. It's an adjective.
It's a work, right? It's a wrestling word. It's
a
wrestling
work. It's fun, but I mean that's just it. The work, like, why not? If they did, like, they could milk this. They could do the NFL Super Pro, and they could have Dazzler in a one shot. Like really, really milk it, and then pull a swerve, bro.
Conspiracy theory. It's no conspiracy theory. That's confirmation to me. She is definitely Dazzler. You know what I'm saying?
Skeletor to King Randor! Skeletor to King Randor! Come in, you royal boob!
I love the sassiness of Skeletor.
You royal boob. Honestly, don't care. All right. So hopefully we won't see any more Taylor Swift's back. Instead, we get some Uncanny X-Men 213, the first cameo appearance of Mr. Sinister, but it's also part of the Mutant Massacre storyline. This is part 9 of Mutant Massacre, which was an incredible storyline. A lot of people talk about Days of Future Past. They talk about the Dark Phoenix Saga. a lot of people don't talk about the Mutant Massacre and how good the Mutant Massacre really was.
I think there was a lot of like from that story, so many changes came to the X-Men as a whole from it. It led to Gambit, you know, what his dark secret was.
Much later, too. Much later.
Well, I think it was issue 350
350
was that
yeah.
reveal. You had the first fight between Sabretooth and Wolverine. First time Colossus like took someone's life. It was the first time Angel became, you know, was going to hint at going to Archangel, and Apocalypse would change X-Men into Horsemen quite a lot from there. And it involved everybody. Like Daredevil had a tie-in, Power Pack had a tie-in, Thor had a tie-in. You know, it was just, and it was great because I remember I actually only completed it maybe a few years ago, but reading it and being like, oh my God, like these are kids, what, like Power Pack are running around
exactly.
the sewer full of corpses. You're like, cover your eyes, children. But it was
and you know what? The best part for me was seeing this battle between these two guys.
Oh yeah.
Yep, exactly.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
when you saw Sabretooth and Wolverine, really, this is their first time they really got a chance to like fight.
Yep.
Awesome.
And look what that brought. Like you're talking like Sabretooth appeared in Iron Fist, and then he found like his guy or his lobster in Wolverine in the X-Men, and then they became synonymous with each other, you know? Kind of like not Deadpool, Kingpin and Daredevil.
Yeah, exactly. So but Iron Fist was written by Chris Claremont, so you knew he was going to bring him over. So that's kind of the idea behind that. All right, our next book here is another X-Men book. Is X-Men number 4. This is the first appearance of Omega Red. Again, this is one of those books here that it's $20. It's pretty cheap because there was like 1 billion copies of this book produced. It is the Jim Lee. It is the first X-Men book that came out after Chris Claremont, because Chris Claremont left at issue 3 of X-Men. He was gone. And it was the first time we had X-Men without Chris Claremont in the helm. So it was the end of an era at this point. It was the start of a new era of comics. And Jim Lee was just a couple of issues away from leaving too.
Yeah. Would you pay $20 for this if you didn't have it?
I have 3 copies.
But I'm saying if you didn't, would you pay $20 for this?
If I will only pay if it's an absolute pristine copy. And this is the reason. First of all, it is the first appearance of Omega Red.
Yep.
Second of all, I do believe we will eventually see him live action. And once we see him live action, this book is going to go up. It's not going to be, it's one of those books. There's a lot of copies of this book.
Yep.
But it's one of those books that no matter what, everyone is going to want it.
Yeah. And Omega Red is like, I really feel bad that the value of this book of a first appearance like Omega Red is basically about when he's going to show up in a movie, because Omega Red is badass. He's a great character, regardless of the MCU or whatever. It shouldn't be that the people go and check this out. Like he was this product of the Russian equivalent of the Weapon Plus program.
Yeah,
he's tied into all that, and he's just a great character all around.
I like this. It's true. We saw him live action in Iron Man 2. You're not that far off.
Yeah, that was
Mickey.
Like, why? But I just don't understand. But I think that comes from Iron Man's Rogues Gallery. It's not a Spider-Man's or a Batman's.
Yeah,
they had to merge two villains to create him, and then they made him his own villain in the comics after that. And
he only had one real villain. He really did. He only had the Mandarin, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And then, the economy. That was.
And then they screwed him up. They screwed him up in the movie.
My God.
All right. Brutal. Let's see what's next. Here's another book. All right. So a lot of people have their take on this book. Batman the Killing Joke. Is it within continuity? Is it not part of continuity? I honestly believe it's not part of continuity because of the way the story ends. Now, the story ends, for those of you who haven't read The Killing Joke or even watched the cartoon for that matter, the story ends on an ambiguous moment where we're not 100% sure what really happened, right? But at the same time, it gives us kind of this origin story or something like that to the Joker that even in the book is telling you this story may not be true, because he says it. I prefer my origin story to be multiple. So, what was it that he said?
Multiple choice or something.
Multiple choice, yes. So it is a great book, and I agree. Who cares? But it's a debate. Did it happen? Right? It's a great book. Alan Moore is fine, but Brian Bolland, man, they don't give Brian Bolland enough credit for this book. Yes, he to me is the greatest Joker artist. Like, out of all the guys who's drawn the Joker, I don't think anybody has drawn him better than Brian Bolland. You guys in the chat, tell me if I'm wrong.
The thing you're saying there though about whether it happened, this is kind of why I don't collect DC, because as I mentioned earlier, I love continuity. I love it. And the thing that kind of always got me about DC is that they kind of chop and change what's continuity and what isn't. I think because they've the 3 Jokers running around now, and then they got rid of the 3 Jokers, and then Barbara Gordon remembered this, and then she didn't remember it. But like Lady Fantastic said, it's a great story. Like, it's a done. You get everything from that story. You don't need to read anything else. The Joker, he has that aura. Like, to me, the Joker isn't intimidating. He's unsettling.
Yeah,
and in this book, he's unsettling. Like, when he arrives at the door, and when you said the movie. Check out the last 45 minutes of that movie. Yeah, forget about the first. You're like, what is going on?
But the movie is not that far off of what they actually wanted to do in the book. So that was, it was a bad move to put the Batgirl story, Batman Batgirl, which was just weird to me at the same time.
It really was.
Really, and it didn't make sense.
Yeah, on a rooftop, you have a whole secluded cave. There's bound to be someone going like, "Oh my God, is that Batman?" Like that, like,
and Batgirl. But so the thing about it is that story was part of the original story. It was part of the plan, and then someone, I don't know if it was Evertoria, I don't know if it was Alan Moore. Someone took it off, which was the smart move. Unfortunately for the movie, they didn't listen. And that kind of messed it up.
That could have been to do with runtime as well, though, because I mean, if you look at the actual adaptation of the Killing Joke part of it, it's only like 3/4 of an hour.
Well, they could have extended it. It's quite possible they could have extended. They could have extended it and not added a whole new story into it. What they could have done was just expand upon that current story. Like, they could have done this thing where it opened up with her opening the door, Joker does the job, 100%. And then we could have like this whole story about them in the hospital. Yeah, it's a lot of adding on to it, but they didn't need to put that first, like you said, the first half hour. That's waste, right? And yes, there are 14 copies of this book at a 10.0. Now, the reason why this book has a 10.0 is because it is the way it was bound. It's a prestige format, so you can take care of this book. It's it's glossy. I understand why there's 10.0s of this book. So yeah. All right, we're back to some Wolverine action here with Uncanny X-Men 141. This is Days of Future Past Part 1. And that's it. Time travel, baby. All right, this is the first appearance of the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, a new Brotherhood with Mystique, Destiny, Pyro, Avalanche, and Blob. This is the first appearance of Destiny, Avalanche, Pyro, Rachel Summers. It's amazing how many first appearances are in this book, but no one really talks about these first appearances. What they do talk about is the story.
Yeah,
right. It's a 2-part, and it's what's crazy. It's just a 2-part story, and this is considered one of the greatest X-Men stories of all time.
I mean, I think it's a great story. Like, it is. I mean, I would probably get it for the first appearances as opposed to the whole wanting to have this story. But I mean, when you're saying like how iconic it is, how many times has that cover being
Mhm.
replicated or homaged, even outside
This day.
of Marvel. Yeah, like it really is done. Like that panel where Wolverine's like skin gets blasted off his bones.
Yeah, we're gonna see that one pretty soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. This is move over, Todd McFarlane. This is a awesome cover.
Yeah,
You know,
it
John
really is.
Byrne and Terry Austin. You got to give Terry Austin some love too for his ink work on this book, because his ink work definitely makes it so much better. So, yeah. So, lady, I'm with you. It is considered, to me, it is one of the best stories ever. So, absolutely. And speaking of good starting points, Uncanny X-Men 94. This is the second team appearance, but it's the first all new, all different X-Men. This is when we get the Chris Claremont. We talked about the last Chris Claremont. This is the first Chris Claremont on X-Men. So this book has a lot of going on to it. Now, it's complete. It's $3,000 high value, which I think is a steal for a book like this, for the significance of this book. Now, obviously, I've never been too thrilled about that cover.
No.
Especially the guy in the back. You know, Count Nefarious, I believe his name is.
Count Nefaria is one of those villains where it's just, I don't like you. I think you're just, he's too overpowered. He's just your generic, like, you know, like,
and he has the monocle too.
Yeah, and he is drawn with the monocle sometimes, and it's just like, it kind of goes to, like, let's say the wrestling aspect, right? It's all about strong booking. This guy has taken on the X-Men on his own. He's taken on the Avengers and the Thunderbolts on his own. But then recently in Spider-Man Gang War, he was made look like a jabroni by his daughter, and he was taken out like very, very easily. And it's just
with a name like Count Nefario, he's got to be a jabroni.
Yeah, that's true. It is a jabroni-esque name. Yeah,
it's like the worst thing you can name somebody. You know, Count Nefarious.
Yeah, are you trustworthy? Well, no, my name is Count Nefaria, the Latin for nefarious. Oh, okay, good call. Like, I mean, Jesus.
You know what I'm saying?
What the hell is even that?
You know what I mean? It's just I know, you know?
Yeah.
He's salty because he doesn't have a copy. We all want a copy. Like, even with this bad cover, it's still
I mean, that would be an impressive addition to the collection. Absolutely.
Yeah. So now our next book here is Amazing Spider-Man 194. We're gonna move our way to Spidey right now. Now, this book is on the list because Black Cat, it's Black Cat's first appearance. And what's interesting enough is that we have a couple of things going on right now. So we have right now that Black Cat may appear in the next Spider-Man movie, which would make sense, being that Spider-Man right now is nobody knows who he is. So why not get himself a new girl? And I don't see a Gwen story going on here. I see us introducing Felicia Hardy like the right proper way.
Yep.
And we could see this character being portrayed by, what's her name, guys? I know you guys know the name of this person. What's the name? She was actually in Madam Web. Sweeney?
Sissy Sweeney Sissy Spacek.
Sissy Spacek is a little too old for that now.
Oh my God, Sydney Sweeney.
Yes,
Sydney Sweeney.
So there is a rumor out there that she may be playing Black Cat, which, well, okay, like Sydney Sweeney. Yeah, I know. Chris would know. Sydney Sweeney. Chris would definitely know. He understands. Right. So that's the rumor right now, that they're talking to her to being part of the MCU, even though they don't care if she was part of Madam Web, because let's be honest, no one remembers Madam Web, and I don't think anybody saw it. So did you see it, Rob? Because I did it.
I have myself and my wife realized how rare it is to get to the movie theater, and there is no way we're gonna go see a Sony Spider-Verse movie when we manage to get a babysitter for our son. No way. So I have not seen it.
Look at that. The other Sissy Spacek. You did it to yourself here. And Tate heard a rumor that Izzy was, I ain't no Black Cat. I can't do it. Sorry, can't do it. Nice one, Tate. All right. So
I think 350 though is a good. I mean, when you look at
350 is a great price.
she's a very integral character to the Marvel universe and Spider-Man's mythos as a whole. Yeah, and I think 350 for that, like that's good. You know, regardless of her. Again, I think like Lady Fantastic said, like the who cares thing about a good story. She's a good character, and she's been around for a long time and consistently. So yeah,
So Black, and she's one of those characters that we never stop seeing because
no,
everybody loves to see her.
yep,
You know what I
you
mean?
know,
So she's always going to remain popular. So 350 for high value. You could probably get this for even less. I will say maybe
yeah.
250 at a good good high value, about 250. You've seen it. I know I've seen this comic plenty. But the only thing is that it is a Spider-Man book. So when it's in an ASM book, people love collecting ASM. So
Yep.
it is always going to be one of those books. Now I'm the Prowler. Okay. I thought someone was gonna call me the Terrible Tinkerer for a second. So, all right, our next book in our list is one of our modern books. It came out this year, and that's Avengers Twilight #1. This book is the first appearance of James Stark, the new Iron Man, but not in armor. This book is gaining momentum as it goes. People are picking this book up. I think it's at its 4th printing now as well. Again, you have an Alex Ross cover, Chip Zdarsky writing it. It is a hot book. So
I'm not a out of content. Like I feel like I'm hammering this home. Out of continuity, I'm not really interested in it. But I do think books like this, especially with the speculation market, because you don't know what way the MCU is going to go with it. Like if Robert Downey Jr. is going to come back, or if he's not, who's going to be the new Iron Man? That kind of way. But I mean, I Alex Ross's covers, like he's kind of like if there's a cover done by Jim Chung or what's his name, Arthur Adams, I'm going to pick it up. And Daniel Lacuna's artwork is absolutely fantastic.
Tate Prime is dropping in all the rumors, man. Look at him, rumors galore. But this book, again, $15. I think you might find it higher. So if you find it for $15, that actually is a bit of a steal for this book right now. But I will wait till the story ends. If you haven't picked it up, wait till the story ends. Wait till you see if people are, when the trade comes out, what people are saying. I know people are loving the story already, so the story has been good. So that no one's denying that the story is good. But what's ended up happening is that at this time when we're in the story, people have no other way of getting the story, so they have to go to these first printing, second printing, third printing, right? So once a trade is out and it's been out there for a while, then no one's talking about it, then I'll guarantee you'll see the price of this book drop.
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
So that's it. Definitely pick Isabel. What's what's up, Rich? Comic Cat Collectibles also in the house. What's going on, my man? All right, let's go to our next book. Here is another X-Men book. This is Uncanny X-Men 137. This is the Dark Phoenix Saga Part 9 with the iconic John Byrne cover. I absolutely love this book. When I was collecting comic books, this book was like a holy grail book to me. Because I had a friend of mine who had this book, and he wanted to like trade it with me for like 16 books I had. And at the time I was like, I can't do that. I can't give you all my comic books. And he was like, no, but I got it. Look, it's the book. So this book does have meaning to me. I actually don't have a copy of this book. I do plan on getting a copy of this book. And I think $50 it's probably a little high for this book right now. But it is still an iconic book. It is a Jean Grey book. It's everything you love about X-Men and more.
But I mean, the main thing here is that it's the first appearance of Raxor.
That
famous Skrull, and of course Beldan. The Kree household name that everyone knows.
It's gonna be a household name, indeed. You know what I'm saying?
Why would you even? Why mention that? Like, oh well, it's 50.
Well, it is a first appearance.
You're gonna get Raxor. I'm just saying, it's $50. Like, out of here.
Who knows? Maybe Raxor is gonna be part of the new Secret Invasion story. He is a Skrull.
But should you even see, like, remember there was a sequel, Secret Invasion story, like a 5-issue mini?
Yeah, I remember. It was
Do
bad.
you remember the story?
It was bad. That's why I didn't read it.
Like a buddy of mine has a comic book store, and I was there. I'm like, oh yeah, this was a thing, and nothing happened. Like,
now, keep in mind this Marvel comic could be worth $2,500 one day. I don't think they lived up to the expectation just yet. Give it some time. I'll give it another 5 more years. Give it another 5 more years. You know, with the way inflation is going, you know. All right. Our next book in the list is obviously Uncanny X-Men 142. This one is awesome as well. I said that we're going to talk about that book. We just talked about 141, 142. What I love about this book is that everybody dies.
yeah.
This one doesn't play. This one's like, you dead, you dead, you dead, you dead, you dead, you dead.
And it's kind of it's sad in a way looking back that now they can't pull that off in comic books anymore.
Yeah.
Where you think like I remember when like the end of the Onslaught story, I was like, oh my god, everybody's dead. Like they're all gone. I mean, they weren't, but that happens now. Like even the big reveal for Marvel's Blood Hunt, like, oh, someone's gonna die. I'm like, oh well, you know, it's probably gonna be Tigra, and she's gonna be back in 2 years, so it doesn't matter. But like you reading this for the first time, you're like, what's happening to the X-Men line? What about Wolverine?
And what was great about it was, as we knew already that this was an alternate universe, an alternate reality, but we still knew that there was implications involved. There was stakes involved, because any little moment could lead to this. And that was kind of like the premise, is that for years, almost decades for that matter, this moment's gonna happen. This moment's gonna happen. This is going to lead to this moment. So there was always a way that it was always coming back to that moment. So that's what made this book so iconic. You know what I'm saying? And you know what? With that said, I'm just saying, that's how badass it was. So those are the books for this week. Those are the trending books of this week. Wow, what a list!
Very X-Men heavy.
Very X-Men heavy. I really did like the way this list was. It felt like the right type of list. Where other weeks we end up getting like these variants here, another variant here, another variant here. But this one in particular, I really did enjoy this list a lot. You ready to take a look at what's the top 10 books?
Sure.
Because that was the trending books. Now we're going to see what the top 10 books on. So let's go ahead and take a view at the top 10 books for CBSI as well as cover price. So here you guys go. There you have it, guys. Those were your top 10 books. Yep, Ralph. Those were flashbacks, definitely. And I love how Comic Verse Tony, he's like 12 out of 20 for a second week. Woohoo! So he counts which books he have. Now, I do have a lot of those books, but some I don't. So I did pick up a few of them. That life story from Fantastic Four I have. Obviously, I have the first appearance of Gambit as well as the first cover appearance of Gambit. So there's a few books in that list there. Are there any books in that list that you own?
What was the Spider-Woman one that was on it?
The Spider-Woman one? That's actually fairly new. That came out last week, that Spider-Man.
But the yeah, because it flew by. It flew by pretty quick. I mean, the keys that I have are generally ones I've had before. I don't kind of run out if I have a few of the ones that were on that list there because I got them years ago. I mean I don't know. It flew by so fast. It was like the last Ronin, don't have that one. Please don't punch me in the nuts like that. Oh, I thought, like, wow, am I failing on that answer so much?
I know, right?
It's like you're punching this guy in the nuts.
Oh man. So Rob, I know you have to step out. I don't know if you have a few more minutes left.
Yeah, no, I have a few. Yeah, no, okay, yeah, I got a few minutes.
Okay, perfect. So what we're gonna do right now is we're going to take this opportunity to talk a little bit about what's coming out this week, guys. And don't forget, there will be a giveaway today. I'm going to be giving a sketch cover. Now, the sketch cover I'm going to give is a sketch cover based off a couple of books. I'm going to, whoever wins, I'm going to ask you which books that are you interested in. I'll let you know which books on the line, and you're going to get a sketch cover. I haven't done a sketch cover for somebody in a while. I have some books that are already on their way. They're going to be going to CGC. So you do have the opportunity to purchase that if you want to. If you do win it, you could then get the book CGC'd as well. But I'm going to be giving away the sketch cover today. So that's going to be part of today. Also, make sure you check out the other channels that are going on right now. Like right now, you got Scotty Vaughn. He's talking to LJ Alfaro. But the Council of Comics is now part of the Monday night lineup. You got Cliff, Sam, and the boy C Bizzle and everybody. They're going to be doing their show at 8 o'clock. Roscoe it does not have a show today. That's happening. But normally he will be at 8:35. And if you want to see the alternatives, then you could go check out 22. And then Monday Night Raw books with Couple Comics. That's happening later this evening at 10 o'clock. So a lot of good stuff there. Don't forget, guys, Comics Curing Cancer, the campaign. We're going to be there. I'm going to be hanging out with the boys over at Heroes Con. We're going to be at booth 1769. We're all going to be traveling there. It's going to be a fun time at Heroes Con over June 14th to the 16th. I'm super excited. I'm super pumped about that one. So you definitely got to go check that one out. So it's time to talk about some new comics. Let's get that list out now. So today, believe it or not, it's actually a light week for the indies. All the indies comics don't have a lot going on there. Oh, you just got the Cyborg. Look at that, Daniel Cowrie. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it actually did come out really nice, the Cyborg. And yes, Tate, I did say sketch cover. And I do believe I have your sketch cover ready too. It's getting ready. So 18 titles over at Marvel, starting with Ultimate Spider-Man #4. This book just doesn't stop from getting hotter and hotter. People are loving this book. We got issue #4 coming out this week. Have you been able to read any of the new Ultimate Spider-Man books?
Like I guess I cut myself off from a few things because if it's outside main continuity, I generally just kind of, if I pick up a trade or someone tells me about it, fine. And I did get the Ultimate Invasion 4-issue mini because it hit me before it hit that Vince Russo swerve, bro. That like I thought it was gonna be 616 versus Ultimate. And that's not what it was at all. Like, it wasn't really an invasion. It was more like Ultimate, I'm going home. And he left. That was it. So I've heard great things. It has been recommended to me, but just I'm a stubborn Irishman. Like, nope, if it's outside continuity, I'm not getting it. You know,
well, Ultimate Spider-Man is probably one of the best Spider-Man books out there. I'm gonna tell you right now. It's definitely, unfortunately, definitely better than Amazing Spider-Man 48 right now. But this is one of those fun covers. Well, let's be honest, Amazing Spider-Man has seen better days.
Man, I am loving Amazing Spider-Man, and I love it because when I was now in saying that with the Nick Spencer run, I was not happy with that run. Every issue, my wife would hear me go like, what? She's like, what are you doing? Like, I'm reading Spider-Man. And then eventually she's like, Spider-Man. Like, yes. But I mean, I love it. I love the heel turn of Ben Reilly because I mean, there's so many Spider people going on a Spider-Man. You got to do something with him. And yeah, I don't understand. I think it's more so people not liking Zeb Wells. and it's just kind of giving
It-
him
it-
flack
it-
as
it's
opposed to
yeah, it's been one of those books where it's just like hasn't been doing. And let's be honest, I'm an apologist when it comes to John Romita Jr. I love John Romita Jr.'s work. I've loved it
Mhm.
for a while, and this is just has not been his best work.
No, I agree with that too. I think it's his time is past for interiors, if that
I
makes
don't know if
sense.
his time passed. I think it's just he needs to focus a little bit better because he does have the ability. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah, sorry. I definitely, I mean, I think now lazy is a strong word, but it just kind of seems like some of it just isn't finished, or it was just like a rush job.
But that's also part of Scott Hanna's inking. And I know
Yeah.
and I know Scott. I know Scott, his job is to excel the inker, the pencils. There's a lot of inkers out there that kind of like to add their special touch. Scott
Mm.
Hanna's not like that. He wants to make the artist bigger,
Yeah.
right? But in this particular instance, it's just not working for some reason, and I don't fully understand why.
No, I will say the biggest issue, pun absolutely intended, that I have with Spider-Man is the art at times. I just kind of feel it's not up to the level of a flagship Marvel book like Amazing
And it
Spider-Man.
is, and it's supposed to, and it is the flagship.
Yeah, and
Let's be
especially
honest.
at like $5, like because it's $5 US, you put that to Canadian, that's like $7 a book twice a month.
What's
you
up, Beckerman? You missed the spec, but there is a possibility you could win a special sketch cover. So who knows? All right, let's move on a little quicker here. So we're gonna go into Superior Spider-Man. So we got Octopus as Spider-Man. That's out here. Spider-Punk Arms Race. I always love the artwork. The artwork in Spider-Punk is always fun because of course, it's trying to keep that anarchist look and vibe to it.
Yeah,
which I think
dirty,
is great.
chaotic. Yeah,
it's always fun. All right, Wolverine 48. The story. We're at the point that this story's got to end soon. I think it's going to be 2 more issues to go, but I absolutely love the Sabretooth War.
It's fantastic.
I think it's great. So definitely worth it. Wolverine Magiport Knights #3. It's a continuation. I like the background in this issue. You get that Wolverine in the background with the claws there.
Like a movie poster.
Yeah. And look, Beckerman, Night Thrasher, issue #3 is out this week. Rise of the Powers of X is issue #4 is out, and that's a fire cover, literally fire.
Yeah.
All right. Also, we got X-Men Forever issue #2 is coming out this week. Daredevil #8. Gods issue #7. The Avengers issue #13 is out this week. Joe, same thing. I can't afford him. Yeah, I know. Prices are crazy. Got me rethinking. Blade #10 is out this week. Scarlet Witch Quicksilver #3. And talking about Black Cat earlier, we got Jackpot and Black Cat issue #2 out this week. Also, from Marvel, Predator: The Last Hunt, Star Wars Dark Maul, Black, White, and Red #1. That should look cool because he's a red character, so why not?
Yep.
Right? It just makes sense. Star Wars Jango Fett is also out this week. I believe that's issue 2. I missed out on the number there. So those are your Marvel books. Yeah, it's issue 2. We got over at DC, they're a little more modest with their titles. So they got 11 titles scheduled this week. From them, Detective Comics 1084, which many consider the best Batman book out now. Rom V has been killing it with this storyline. It may not be your traditional Batman storyline, but it's been very psychological in nature in Batman storyline. So that's happening.
I loved his work on Carnage. His last Carnage, it was fantastic.
Really good.
Yeah.
All right. ASM is $8.99. Yep, you paid $9 for ASM. Oh man, that's a lot of money. Whew, that was 3 comic books back in the day. Well, it's 3 comic books now. Green Arrow issue 11 is out this week. The Flash issue #8 is out this week. Sounds like it's a Zoom cover. All right. Also, Harley Quinn 39, Batman Brave and the Bold 12, Power Girl issue #8 with Lobo's daughter in the picture. So we'll see what that's about. Also, Batman Dark Age issue #2, The Penguin #9, and Primer #2. Right, those are your DC books. Over at Image, they also have 11 titles. From those 11 titles, you got Universal Monsters, Creature from the Black Lagoon.
That cover is beautiful.
That is an awesome cover. I was looking at it, I was like, this is a book I might just pick up.
Yeah.
And it's from Skybound too. So Skybound's been killing it right now with their books. So definitely want to check that out. Drawing Blood #1. This is from Kevin Eastman from the Turtles. He has a book out this week, so that's worth checking out. Duke #5 is out this week as well. World Tree issue #9 is also out by James Hyden IV. And then we have Monstrous 51. $1.51. That was a typo. Feral issue #2, the continuation. We're continuing the Feral storyline this week. Six Fingers #3. The Infernals #3. That's a crazy looking cover though. Just trying to look at it. It's like interesting. All right. It just strikes, but his neck looks really weird. So also you got The Bloody Dozen, A Tale of the Shrouded College #5. The Forge #7 and Dutch #3. Yeah, Drawing Blood it's tempting. It's Kevin Eastman, so it's worth a try. All right, over at Boom Studios, you got 9 titles. Dark Horse has 6, IDW has 5, Keen Spot has 3, Mad Cave has 2, and Dynamite has 2. Again, like I said, the indies don't have a lot of books this week. So starting with Boom Studios, Something's Killing the Children. Issue 36 is out this week. Also, Once Upon a Time and The End of the World, issue #4. These titles, man, keep them short, guys. Rare Flavors #5 is out this week. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers 119 is out this week. This is the Darkest Hour storyline, so that should be interesting. Man's Best #2 is out this week. The Expanse, The Dragon Tooth, as 11 is out this week. Pine and Miramac #4. That is one scary looking cover. Right? Dune House of Carino #2 is out this week. Orcs the Gift also out #3. All right. I still get my pull list. I don't chase the spec though. I feel bad for all the Dazzler spec folks. I think Taylor is in it and don't think so he's saying no to the Taylor spec. I don't know. I'm starting to,
well, I mean, you have a solid argument in the fact that she used an adjective.
She used the word dazzle to end off something. So I think there's something to be said about that.
There is, and it's nothing.
Dark Horse Comics Operation Sunshine Already Dead #1. Ghostbusters Back in Town #2. Dawn Runner #2. Also Quick Stop Volume 2. Oh, no, not Quick Stop. I didn't even change the time. I didn't change the font. It's actually Star Wars The High Republic Adventures. And if you find this, I'm Already Dead, issue #2. And Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, issue #3. Over at IDW, you have the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 150. Wow. Yeah, you know what? There is a possibility that she may, in fact, be Lady Deadpool. I could see that. All right. I could definitely see that. And my boy Collected with Durs is in the house. What's going on, my man? He's editing. Look at that. We're getting ready for some good stuff here. All right. Funny because I was collecting Dazzler. Based on some. Oh, I love the live field. Did you catch the live field thing in the
my buddy sent it to me. My buddy sent it to me. I didn't know because I watched it once. I was like, oh my god, the dialogue, and then he sent it to me, and I thought, yeah, it was pretty funny.
So I immediately saw Lifefield's name. What I didn't know is that it was called Just Feet.
No, I didn't see it all. I didn't see it at all. But then when he sent that to me, I got it all in one. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, it was great. All right, Star Trek Defiant 14, Ministry of Compliance, issue #5, as well as out this week. We have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Saturday Morning Cartoon After Adventures, issue #12, and Dungeons and Dragons Saturday Morning Adventures, issue #4. Over at Keen Spot, you got Robot Plus Girl #1, Toy #5, Zor #2. Over at Mad Cave, this one's a good one. Dick Tracy #1. That's out this week. That's a book I might pick up over at Mad Cave. And Mad Cave's good at doing these type of properties. I really like their properties. Chart Remains #5. Over at Dynamite, Red Sonja 10, and Vampirella Dracula Rage #6. Over at Distillery, we have Spectrograph #1 and Blasphemous #2. And they just had to do it, man. Over at Zeniscope, Pooh versus Bambi #1.
That cover looks badass though.
Who's gonna win that match?
Pooh,
guys in the chat? Who wins, Pooh or Bambi? I think Bambi has got the horns. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, I'm down with that. All right. Grim Fairy Tales 83. Then we have over at Antarctic Press, Ninja High School 193 and Furlong 194. American Psycho number 4 is out from Sumerian. And Massive is going to have Misfortunate Eyes issue number 2. And I believe this is the last one. I believe it's the last one. Oni Press, Rick and Morty, Kingdom Balls number 1. And over at Ahoy Comics Project, Cryptotide number 8, I mean. Vault has Slash presents Deathstalkers. And yes, that Slash. So Slash from Guns N' Roses presents a comic book. I know, but Vault Comics, so people love Vault. And Titan Comics, Conan the Barbarian, issue number 10. Those are your books for this week. Whew. A lot of good stuff, man. A lot of good stuff. All right. Guys, I know you've been waiting for it. I know you want it. You got to have it. We're going to do the giveaway because I know that's what everybody's waiting for. So let's see. What's going to be our giveaway for today? You know what? Let's go ahead and just put it like so. So with that said, we're going to do a nice giveaway here, and let's do it. Today's hashtag is gonna be Snick. Why not? Right? We got some Wolverine goodness still going on. Deadpool and Wolverine. Why not do Snick as today's hashtag? Just to remind everybody, today's winner will receive a sketch cover by yours truly, and I'll hit you up and tell you which books I have, and you could definitely tell me which sketch cover you want. So that's what's going to be today. We got 6 entries right now for the sketch cover. All right. It's a big one. It's a sketch cover, guys. See, Tape Pride's really happy. It's like, enough said. Yes. All right. See, 9 entries. 20 people are watching right now. 10 entries. All right. So, Rob, if you was to win, what would you want to sketch of?
I would like a sketch of Dark Hawk.
Dark Hawk? Oh, yeah. A lot of people like Dark Hawk. You and Swagwaha and stuff. So, all right,
he's in Toronto. He's in Toronto too, I think.
Oh, Swaggle? Now, Swaggle's all the way down in California.
Am I thinking of a different person?
You might be thinking of a different person.
S. Vaughn? Yeah, I am. In fact, it's not even the same name at all. It's a completely different name. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
All right. So 14 people watching, 19 people watching right now, and we have 14 entries for the sketch cover. You ready to do this, man?
Born ready.
Let's do this. A former New Warrior Dark Hawk, really.
And Avenger.
Yeah, so let's see. 14 and let's see who's today's winner. And the winner is, oh, this one's taking Lady Fantastic. Yes. Caroline, you are today's winner. What's up, Miss Tootsie? Mrs. Tootsie. Tyler, you couldn't do it, man. You couldn't. Lady Fantastic, we'll talk later. Excuse me. But before we go, I got to say thank you, my man. Thank you, Rob. It was a pleasure having you. It's great seeing you, man. I can't wait to see more content from you. Rob, where can people find you, my man?
Mostly on YouTube. I do shorts Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, long form video on Thursdays, Rambling Rod for the Red Ape. I co-host a podcast called Geekables that drops, I think, every Thursday. We're mixing between Thursday and Sunday right now, trying to find which way to go. And yeah, Rambling Rob on Instagram. Again, look for that Red Ape, this guy, and there you go, that guy. You'll find him.
There you go. Awesome. All right, man. There's only one thing I got to say to you, and I do have to give you a thank you. So thank you, Rob, for being part of the Izzyverse, being part of today's show. Thank you, all the winners. So, of course, we have to give you our special thank you.
Hey, I think this is it. I think you're about to go home. Okay. All right. Look, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you!
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I never said thank you.
And you'll never have to.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I guess I'll see you.
And I will see you next time, guys. I'll see you guys over. Head out to Scotty's channel and premiere in about 9 minutes, the Council of Comics. Go check them out. We'll see you soon. Until next time, Rob, we'll see you. Everybody else,
Izzy.
Excelsior. We'll see you at the Monday night lineup. Bye now.